Hey everybody, Karen Anderson here with Aortic Hope for our live Q&A. We have a really special guest, first timer here with Aortic Hope. But before we get started, I'm going to ask you to click like because it just means so much to me. Click subscribe and click that little bell so that you're notified every time we go live, which of course is every Monday, sprinkled in with some other live events and Survivor Series. So we have Sarah Khatau. She's sales operations with Help Text. And we started talking about this, just a little teaser today. There actually will be a post on Thursday for our Therapeutic Thursday, letting you know even more information about what Help Text is. But I wanted you to hear it from Sarah tonight so we can answer any of your questions. This is a little something new for us, but so excited to be able to bring the information to you, bring this service to you because it is live, it is ready to go. Sarah, welcome. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. This is my first live. I am very excited.
Great, and you see how unconventional I am, so just be yourself. It's
Love it.
wonderful. So I think what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about what is Help Text. What does the company do? How are they founded? And then I'm going to talk a little bit about you because you have an interesting story. I know that we've chatted before and we kind of are on par with each other with a couple of things in our background. And then we're going to get to what does this do for the community and how this can potentially help our community members. And then we're going to take some questions along the way. So I'm going to turn this over to you and let you tell everybody what Help Text is all about.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So thank you for having me first and foremost. Help Text is a one-way support where we deliver expert ongoing grief, mental health, caregiver support, all via text message. There's nothing to download. There's nothing to install. You don't need a smartphone. It is extremely accessible and easy to have access to. And that's what we really want is for everyone to have access and support when they need it most.
Okay.
And so Help Text was founded by Emma Payne back in 2015. She was at a memorial service for a friend, and she was asked to speak at the funeral, who was also the best friend of her deceased husband who died by suicide 10 years earlier. And her experience was sitting with a lot of people from the funeral to the pub night and talking to people with who she'd never spoken with in over a decade. Basically saying, I wanted to reach out. I'm sorry I didn't reach out. It's not that I didn't care. I just didn't know what to say. And so she got on a plane and she kind of built Help Text. And it is what it is today. We offer grief, mental health, caregiver support for healthcare workers as well, for pet loss, pregnancy loss, and all sorts of types of life challenges.
Okay. And how does that happen?
Yeah, so great question. So basically you sign up, you receive a little form, you choose what you're looking for. So for example, if you're signing up for grief support, you would choose I am grieving a loss or a death, and you would give us some information. Like I said, there's nothing to download, nothing to install. And you would fill out a form that takes about 5 minutes and give us some important information. You can give us as much information as you want, as little as information as you want, but basically let us know about who died, how they died as well, any important dates, death anniversaries, birthdays, important holidays that are meaningful to you. And we would send you personalized custom text messages based on what you've given us.
Okay. So typically for subscription, a person receives how many text messages?
You receive 2 text messages a week and up to and a few additional text messages on important dates and anniversaries, like I mentioned, but typically around 2 text messages a week.
Okay. And then you can also sign somebody up, your loved one, or up to 2, right? And they can receive a text. And what is that text telling them again?
That is my favorite part about Help Text and why I love Help Text so much. So you are able to add up to 2 people, friends, families, colleague, and they will receive text messages on ways to support you and ways to show up for you that, like Emma mentioned, she had so many people that didn't know what to say. So we will provide you with suggestions, tips, on ways to support your grieving friend or your friend dealing with burnout and fatigue or a
Mhm.
mental struggle. And so they will receive, a message, for example, um, Sarah's dad's death anniversary, sorry, will be a year tomorrow. Consider reaching out, consider, going out for a walk with her or making reservations at her dad's favorite restaurant, something along those
Mhm.
lines.
So I know you have some stuff you want to share. Did you want to do that now, or do you want to tell everybody a little bit more about yourself and how you actually found help techs, which led you to your
Yeah.
position working for them? It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't mind talking a
You're
bit
in
about
charge.
myself first.
Okay.
Um, so prior to actually working at Help Tax, and I've been in this position for 2 years,
Hmm.
I actually found Help Tax after my dad died in 2018. And it took me about 6 months, but I knew I needed some support. And so I think I did a quick Google search. I found them on Instagram, but I absolutely fell in love with the concept, with
Hmm.
having text messages, with not leaving my house, with it being super accessible, with not having to respond or sit on a stranger's couch and talk about my feelings. I really, really appreciated that. And so I signed up as a subscriber after my dad died. And I was able to add, like I mentioned, my then boyfriend, now husband, as a subscriber, who also received text messages on ways to support me because he didn't know how to support me,
Hmm.
and he didn't want to make me more sad or make me cry more.
Right.
And so he would receive text messages on ways to support me, like making reservations at my dad's favorite restaurant, like
Oh.
bringing up special memories of beating us at beer pong at the cottage,
Hmm.
just things like that. And so after my year subscription, I basically wrote back and I said, this has helped me tremendously. It not only helped me in my grieving process, but it helped the relationships I had with people
Hmm.
and them letting them know that it's okay to reach out to me, that it's okay to bring up memories of my dad, especially when everyone seemed to be avoiding him completely.
That's amazing. And the more that you speak about this, I had somebody else from Think Aorta found you
Mhm.
guys and talked to me about this. I just thought, gosh, I wish I would have had this when my father passed because first of all, I was in complete denial for so long. I lived in this alternative universe where nah, he's just took a little self vacation. He's just having some individual time. It was the strangest thing because part of me, I knew what had happened. I knew but I didn't want to actually know because it was very sudden. And so it just was like, was just lost in a fog. And if I could have had something um, just to pop up my phone, just to let me know, okay, anything from, we know this is still shocking,
Yeah,
but it's going to be a okay type thing. Because I did do therapy, and therapy was tough. It's very tough when you're not ready for it, and you don't
it is.
like, what am I supposed to talk about when I don't even really believe that it happened. And then when you have to face it, you're just hysterically crying. You go home, you're crying some more. And I'd always heard that group therapy for grief is very
Mhm.
effective. But like you said, not everybody wants to leave the house or can, and
Or
I'm going
can,
to
yeah.
probably feel that way when my dog has to be put down. I'd be like, I'm signing up for another membership. I need something completely different now. So I
Right.
can see such a value in something like that for somebody who, one, can't afford $150 copay for a therapist for your 1 hour once a week,
1 hour.
if you're going once a week, right? And this is, two messages that are just somewhat tailored to you. And I don't want to mislead anybody into thinking this is so much about grief, but we're talking about this
Talking
one
about
bucket because this is what pertained to you and brought you to the company.
Exactly. But just as a reminder, we also work with over 80 expert contributors in the field of mental health, of grief, of fatigue and trauma, we worked with a lot of experts. So they're not AI generated, which a lot of people might think. We really craft and create these really wonderful bite-sized pieces of wisdom delivered to you straight to your phone.
Hmm.
It's pretty awesome.
And so, what I kind of like, because I know we're jumping between this and what it happens in the community, is when this was brought to my attention, I immediately thought of our grief community, which is a community who was kind of just forgotten about when I first created this organization with other founders, it was focusing on survivors, patients, and then their caregivers. And then, it dawns on you and it's like, wait, there are actually people that die from this, because you don't think about that because you survived and it was but had the potential to be such a bad outcome. So now I've got this grief community and we've offering support groups, but we do also see that not everybody wants to attend a support group meeting. They don't even necessarily want to text on a Facebook page. It's a very private, it's just different. It's just not, having had health related issues and then the loss of my father, it is two different worlds of how you want to project and how you want to communicate. And so when this was presented to me, I was like, bingo, this might be the thing that we can provide people where we're not even involved. It's between them, their phone, their information. I love that you mentioned it wasn't AI generated, because I've had people ask me that. And I
Mm.
love that you reiterated the 80, specialists. So are these specialist therapists, I take it, or psychiatrists? Who,
Some are
what are
therapists,
they?
some are psychiatrists, some are therapists, some are psychiatrists,
Uh-huh.
some work in hospice care, some work in healthcare workers dealing with specifically fatigue and burnout, for
Hmm.
example. Just a bunch of, like, a huge array, a huge spectrum of experts in their
Yeah,
field that
that's
deal with
amazing.
grief, caregiver support, mental health support. Yeah.
So beyond the grief, I looked at this then and I thought, well, wouldn't this be great for our caregivers? Which I know, unlike the traditional caregiver bucket that you guys have been focusing on, which is caregiving to a terminally ill person, we do have the ability to choose caregiving from the health and wellness portion. So
Absolutely.
it's as close as we're going to get for our caregivers here. And all I know in my heart, and I know from what you told me, is things are going to ever change and evolve for this organization. As I suppose, as you recruit more companies like us, organizations, you start to learn about the needs in the community. And then, of course, just in general, patients. We have patients who have survived major emergency surgery, life altering surgery, and others that
Yeah.
have received a diagnosis and they're scared to even move when they receive this diagnosis. And they just sit, some with a lot of anxiety, waiting until the day they find out they need surgery. So, like, the thought of knowing that somebody has been able to come up with a method of validating that anxiety, that fear, the depression, because now life's changed, and can quietly just, you get it on your phone. It's like, somebody gets me out there. Somebody wrote this and understands what I'm feeling. Again, might be the missing piece for a lot of people in the community versus coming on board and having to do, a support group, not negating how wonderful those are. This seems like it's a little bit more private, which meets the
Gotcha.
needs of people with that
Yeah.
specific personality type.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I couldn't love it and rave about it more as a subscriber myself. I absolutely loved it. I felt seen, I felt supported, and I felt understood. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of different emotions and feelings. And so for healthcare and well-being, we do offer text messages for anxiety, for loneliness, for depression, for caregiving, as well as, of course, we mentioned. So there is, there's some good support that we can definitely provide, and we hope to provide.
So I have to read this. So I signed up the other day for the health
Okay.
and wellness and clicked off my own subsections of the things that, I might need a little support. And I got the first one today. So I'm going to read what I got today because I just want people to have
Okay.
an idea. And I know that it's just the very first text explained to me here. I just want to reiterate what's going to happen. You're going to get 2 texts a week and maybe, extra little boosts around the holidays that I chose that were important to me. But this is what today says. Hi, Karen. Already it's great because they used my name. Health and well being consists of physical, mental, emotional, and social factors. Essentially, it's how you feel about yourself and your life. Reflect on a phrase that can guide you on your well being journey. For example, I am worthy and capable, or I'm getting healthier every day. Post your phrase on your mirror or another place that you'll see every day to boost your self esteem, mood, and resilience. And while this seems simple, like blah, 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 you know, I did pause and I was like, at least it got me to think, what would my phrase be? And then I was like, I kind of like, I dig in the I am worthy and capable because I was busy, I was out and about, but I was like, I dig that, and it made me think for a second, what would my, and it just got me to stop whatever running around I was doing, which is making me crazier. And I paused. And if that's all it did for me, that was pretty good because I don't take enough time to just
Yeah.
stop and recognize myself. So that was a good start. It was a good one for first day one. I like it.
Oh, that's
Did.
awesome. I have on my mirror, I am brave, I am kind, I am this, I am that. And my nephew the other day was like, what did these, he's 4 years old. He's like, what did
Uh-huh.
these say? So we were kind of saying it to each other in the
Yeah.
mirror. And it was just the sweetest thing.
That is really sweet. That's super sweet. Do you want to show anybody some of the graphics
Absolutely.
and things that you have? Yeah, I'd love for them to get a
I
chance
would
to
love
see. And
to.
I want to mention to everybody, unlike a lot of interesting services that we've been able to provide you, which offer some form of kickback, and we're very transparent when it comes to
We're
that.
very transparent when it comes to that.
Oh, I just had major feedback. Wow, like hearing myself. What's happening? Uh, hmm. I don't know if, do you guys hear that echo going on or is it just me? Weird, strange. Okay, could just be in my head. All right, so unlike those scenarios, which we've been very forthcoming with, in this particular scenario, we chose to not have any kickback whatsoever and to instead offer everybody in the community a free month to try. Now, unlike so many companies that are like, oh, try this for free, but first put in your credit card so that if you don't cancel, which we would all forget to cancel, by the way, because we have memory problems, then we're going to charge you. This does not work like that. Don't enter any personal information with your credit card, right? You kind of
None
just
whatsoever.
sign up for free. And if you found value in this, then you have the opportunity to sign up for your 1 year subscription, which I can't do the math super fast, maybe but it's $99 a year, correct?
Correct.
And so that's two a week. Two times 52 is 104 texts. That's like 104 contact minimal with
Minimal.
something
Yeah.
that's going to give you pause and hopefully enhance your day or validate you wherever you are in your process of what you're feeling.
What you're feeling.
And when you divide that by, let's just round it up to 100 and we'll take it down. You're not talking a lot of money here. You're talking very little money a week. And definitely, I mean, it's therapy for 1 hour costs more than this entire year of
It's true.
104 minimum touch points. I kind of feel
It's
like it's
cheaper
worth
than
it.
condolence flowers. It's cheaper
Yeah,
than, your traditional things that, unfortunately flowers wither away. But this is
right.
support for a year that you can really help someone and
Hmm.
support them.
And the other key point that you mentioned is this isn't just for you. I mean, for health and wellness, caregiving, or grief, you get to select 1 to 2 people as your support system, and they're going to receive, as part of your subscription, a text. Is it one text a week?
It is up to 2 texts a week for subscribers, and for supporters, it's around 1 text a week, plus any
Okay.
additional ones on
Special
the
holidays.
anniversary, just
So what's
reminders.
great
Yeah,
about that is, like you said, we don't know what to say. Even when you experience grief, you still are like, I don't know what to say other than this sucks. I mean, that's about all I know what to say to people now because I'm just being honest. It's not going to be a fun time. So if you don't really know what to say, this might tell you like, how can I address my dear friend who's lost somebody, help this person based on what this person has shared. This might be great if you mention this. They might really appreciate that. And I think that that's just, it's so nowhere else. You're not going to get that from your therapist. And again, I'm not denouncing therapy. It definitely serves its role, but that's just so meaningful because it makes things so much more personalized, I feel. So I
absolutely.
love that. All right.
I can share
Share your
mine. Yeah.
screen. Yeah, please. And we're going to have put up that you can sign up with helptexts.com/aortic hope to be able to get um, your free 1 month trial, which will be great.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to be
Absolutely.
quiet now and let you have the floor.
No problem. Thank you so much. So, as mentioned, Help Text delivers expert ongoing grief, caregiver, and mental health support. And we are the first in the world to publish data on grief-informed texting. And so our data, qualitative and quantitative, has shown that 95% of survey respondents find our text helpful and they feel supported. And 86% of subscribers choose to continue to receive text messages for 12 months or longer. You can
Mhm.
stop and start at any time. One pretty cool data point is that men and seniors give help text the highest helpfulness rating. Private, accessible, and discreet. And that's what we find that people really love about it.
Yeah.
We are nationwide and in 44 countries.
Okay.
So, as mentioned, for Aortic Hope, we provide health and well-being support and grief support. Of course, as mentioned, we provide hopeful, practical messages to increase health and well-being. Excuse me, with including caregiver support, depression, and loneliness. And as mentioned, our grief texts are customized and personalized based on cause of death, age, relationship, and more. So, as a subscriber, I received personalized messages mentioning my dad's name, mentioning, our relationship. I would receive text messages on Father's Day, on his death anniversary, my birthday as well. And so here's your sign up page for Aortic Hope, the Aortic Hope community. As Karen mentioned, helptext.com/aortic hope, and you get to sign up for 1 month free for help text. And of course, if you find us supportive and helpful and would love to continue, then you are definitely able to do so. Here's an example, which I always find a visual pretty compelling. But here we have Grace, and she's caring for her husband. So she receives a text message, and she's also elected Anna, her neighbor, and Lucio, her friend, to receive text messages on ways to support Grace. And so Lucio receives his text messages in Spanish. We do provide text messages in 24 different languages. Of course, as mentioned, we are accessible. There is nothing to download. There is nothing to, no smartphone, no data required. Sign up takes 5 minutes. You receive your first text message right away. We are in 24 different languages, and we have specialized text messages for immigrants, LGBTQ, POC communities, veterans, caregivers, of course, loneliness, and community that is watching. You can definitely pull out your phones and scan the QR code, and you can start receiving text messages right away.
Let me ask you, you just said no data charge. So for people who still have plans where they're paying for minutes, I think people still do that. I don't understand, but I think they do. There is no, you're not going to get these rates apply and you don't get any of that, correct?
Not to my knowledge. I
Okay.
will come back to you with that, but there is no internet required, essentially. You
Okay.
just need an email and the initial sign up form, which is on the website, helptext.com/aortic hope. Sign up and you will receive your SMS.
That's great. Sarah, did we lose your camera in the process of sharing?
We did not.
Possibly.
She's still there. Oh, and she's
Oh,
toggling it now.
wonderful. I was going to say, I don't see anything. Okay. There we go. Okay.
There
So
we go.
no data and confidentiality. So there's really, you're not selling the phone number or anything like that to third party. I'm not going to all of a sudden start getting more Medicare phone calls about back braces. Like that's not going to come
Oh,
to me after
goodness.
I do this, right?
Absolutely not. We are GDPR compliant, HIPAA compliant. Your data, your information, and everything is completely private, confidential.
And I think that's wonderful. Josh, do we have any questions or anything from anybody so far tonight?
Well, I have a message here from Sarah Khatau that says, I am so proud of my daughter, Sarah.
Aw, see, that's what's supposed to happen. I'm surprised if my mom would remember, she'd show up on here because she'd say, "Oh, you're on too often. I can't remember to see everything you do." That's wonderful. Shout out to the mamas.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Mom.
that's so great. And let's say hi to Donna. Thank you so much. Hi,
Hi,
Tammy.
Donna.
Hi,
Hi, Tammy.
Ashley. Hi,
Ashley.
Krish.
Chris.
Krish.
All right.
Krish.
Krish. That's pretty. That's different. Okay. Well, if you guys have any questions or comments, please, we would love to hear about those. Again, I just want to make sure I'm going to reiterate it one more time for the whole community. This is live now. Like sign up, click the link. We are receiving zero compensation from this. This is purely one of those very rare cases where we just know something that's potentially very helpful for so many of you in the community. And we're just making it aware for you to decide if you think it's something you want to do. So it's between you and Help Text if you'd like to do that. We're trying it out here on our end from the organization. And once you sign up, you will have 1 month free, completely free, to pick your different categories, to pick the subcategories, to enter dates that are important to you. I was speaking with Sarah earlier, and I would strongly suggest that you do this from your computer. It could have just been my funky phone, but I have a little bit of difficulty and challenges from the phone. So try to do it from your actual computer, but you can do it from your phone. And again, if you have any questions or you're running into any issues, please shoot me a message at info@aortichope.org, and we will get that message over to Sarah and figure out technically like what's going on. But
we have a support team.
oh,
Sorry,
well,
Karen.
there
We
you
have
go.
a support team that reads all incoming messages. If you
Do it
have
with them.
any technical support, we will be more than happy to help you.
Send them the message. Don't send it to me. But you won't have any issues. It's just, I think I was just feeling challenged when I did it on the phone. But the computer, you get to pick all these different categories and areas, and then you will immediately start receiving text messages. I mean, you're going to be really excited and wait, what's this first one? Then you'll get one that verifies you signed up, and then you're going to get one that gives you this lowdown, and then your text messages begin. And so you've got 1 month of 2 texts a week, unless one of your special days happens in that month, you might get an extra one, and your supporter is going to get one. And if you feel that this has been, I don't know how life-changing in 30 days, but so supportive and really is making a difference and has you saying, wow, this really is what I needed, then you can go ahead and sign up. And is it a payment plan or is it pay up front the $99?
It is PayPal, pay upfront.
And so PayPal sometimes has Klarna with the 4 times pay. Is that an option, or it's just PayPal pay up front?
I'm not entirely sure with the Klarna thing, but it's pay upfront.
Okay, so you're
My
paying your
understanding.
subscription up front. And again, it's not even the cost of what it is for one therapy session, which is amazing. Can FSA or HHSA? It's been a long day, Sarah. It's been a long- I've had to pronounce a lot of medical terms today. My mouth's all jumbled. Can this qualify for FSA or HSA? Do you know?
I do not know, but I can definitely get you that
Yeah.
answer.
I just dawned on me. I mean, I'm on disability, so it doesn't matter, but there are people that are still working, and it might not, because this is not technically therapy, but I'm just wondering if it might fall underneath of that. So that's a curious question I just came up with. Sorry, I put you on the spot with that one, but
No, that's
just
okay.
popped into my head. So yes, and again, this would cover grief, caregivers, and health and well-being. So um, I just think it's wonderful. I'm just so super excited to see tomorrow's text, or the next day, or whenever my next test. I mean, today's Tuesday. It could be Thursday. Is it always the same days on during the week? Will this be something I
It
can
is twice a
count
week,
on?
and it is 12 p.m. your local time.
But the same days, the same 2 days, or you don't know?
It should be the same 2 days.
Okay, well now I'm waiting. It's like Christmas. When is the next one going to happen? No, it's more like the 8 nights of Hanukkah. I don't know when the next thing's going to happen. No, this is very exciting. And then when I just can't imagine, what are they going to say to me on the next one? I have to tell you this, I did not think I'd be this into it, but now I'm kind of into it. And that's what I heard from, another person who's tried this, who just said the exact same thing. I got to tell you, I didn't think I'd be into it. And you're right. This was from a male. He was not sure he was going to be really into it. And he's like, I have to tell you, with my stuff, this is kind of helping. And it made sense now, because he does seem like the type that something that's very quiet, private, and just between him and his phone is working better for him. So that's so fun. So great.
Like I said, men and seniors give it the highest helpfulness rating.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's pretty amazing. We also do see signups happening. So thank you. We
Oh, that's
appreciate that.
wonderful.
Signups are
Yeah,
already happening.
Oh,
that's so
that's
great.
very cool. So we have some
That's very
feedback
exciting.
we have some feedback in the chat here.
Okay.
Donna Mobley says this is very cool. Ashley Kumar threw a big heart up. Let's see. Krish said, "What a great concept."
Thank you.
And then we have Nathalie. She just joined us and she said, "I'm really surprised by this service. Thank you so much."
Oh, that's wonderful.
And
Oh,
As-
that's so great.
and Asim Ramzan joined us in the chat and said, "Go Sarah, go."
You have a fan club. You know, I
I
need to be on
do.
one. You need to just start your own channel, and then I can be on your channel, and all of your fans can hear something I have to say that might be important. But you have a fan club. That's great. I mean, you should come on and do one of our trivia nights, and just
Oh,
have
I would
everybody
love
on,
to.
and we'll have some fun. Yeah, I never win, but maybe I will. Maybe I stand a slight chance to try to win. No, that's wonderful. I'm so happy. Thank you, everybody, for signing up. And I cannot wait to hear feedback. So, as you're doing this, if you want to send us a message just to say, give us your feedback. So, maybe I can add some testimonials so other people might feel more inclined to want to try the service as well. So, that's wonderful. I love that. It's like being on QVC and watching the clock. The thing is rolling with how many people are signing up. I love that. That's great. And I think I also really love and appreciate that the way that this came to be. I mean, the thought behind it when you realize that people just don't know what to say. And let me tell you, that also has to go with health issues because when you almost die, people don't know what to say to you. And I know a
Right.
lot of people in the community have come away saying that they felt like they were a ghost. And it sounds weird, but they're there. But everybody starts to whisper around them and talk around them. Nobody wants to bother them. And you're just like, I am alive, right? And I'm sitting right here. And as you're realizing how much your life has changed if you survived an aortic dissection, and you realize I have to piece this back together, and what's my 2.0 version going to look like? You experience grief. It's just for a different reason. And when you've been diagnosed with something that has the ever slight potential to be fatal if it's not, if we don't have to have it, if we don't have an intervention when needed, if when needed, people are scared and they're anxious all the time and they're angry. So again, it's a whole other thing of grief. They go through, nope, this isn't real. They start negotiating. Well, maybe if I do this, this will work. Then they get angry and they're scared, and then so it's really the same emotions. And but to be able to have something like this, just to pop in the middle of your busy day or right before you have a scan because it just happened to come in and luck of the draw, I think it's going to be so incredibly helpful.
Thank
So,
you.
and I love how you really came into this world. I think that just speaks
Truly,
volumes.
truly. I couldn't be more thankful for help text and finding it when I did. I think it was about 6 months into my grief after my dad died, and I was angry. I was definitely angry at that
Mhm.
point. And I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. I felt like an alienated, and I felt
Yeah.
like I was the only one feeling this and didn't know how to deal with my grief. And I felt very alone at a time where, you kind of really hope to feel supported and
Mhm.
have that extra support around you. But yeah, I felt very alone and misunderstood, and I'm just really thankful I found help text when I did.
I'm curious to know what were some of the things that, not the personal, but what were some of the generalized things that you would receive if you're somebody on the grief, if you're in the grief bucket? What are some of the things you might hear?
Absolutely. So personally, and one that sticks out to me, was that my dad died of cancer. And so after he died, I felt a sense of relief,
Hmm.
and that terrified me the most. It was terrifying to feel this. I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not, like, I don't want my dad to be dead. I was really, really struggling with that feeling of relief.
Hmm.
And so one of the text messages were, if you feel relief, it is normal. It is okay to feel relief. And I'm like, are you inside my head? Like, what is going on?
Right.
How do you
Right.
guys know this is what I'm feeling? But along the lines of, if you feel relief, it can, it definitely could be a very complex feeling to have after someone dies, but it is normal. And especially when you see them struggling with their
Hmm.
diagnosis, and then they do die, it's normal to feel relief. It is.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the text messages that really stood out to me. And I was like, holy crap. Sorry for my language, but
No.
holy crap,
Woo!
like
Yes.
this is
No,
amazing.
yeah.
Like this has really, wow, I'm heard, I'm seen, I'm understood. And so that was one of the messages.
Yeah.
Another one, like I mentioned, was after I added a supporter, they received messages on bringing up memories of my dad,
Mhm.
bringing up his name, saying his name. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but saying
Yeah.
his name lets me know, lets the bereaved or the grieving person know that their person's not forgotten. No one's going to
That's right.
forget them.
That's a
There are
good point.
memories. They still, their memories still live on.
Yeah.
They were here. And there are definitely things that you can, or that a supporter can do to help their grieving friend.
God, as you're talking, I'm up to number 7 of people that I want to reach out to immediately when we're finished here, because I know that they still struggle a year, 2, 3 later, and this will really help them. And I think a lot of people struggle with guilt, survivor guilt. They
Yeah.
struggle with the same thing, like, feeling a sense of peace that the person has passed, but then you feel guilty that you feel peaceful because, of course, you don't want them to be gone. And this is like nobody wants to talk about that, like, because it seems taboo, but it's perfectly normal, and to be told that you're normal again and not have to pay $150, but to be told you're normal and knowing it's one of the, this was formulated by over 80 experts who have studied this and researched this, and they know that this is an issue, to just say the obvious, which sometimes hearing that obvious from a close friend or family member sometimes isn't enough. It's the stranger that you're never going to see that all of a sudden the light bulb goes off. Isn't that amazing? To
Right.
me, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It
All
is.
right, Josh,
Those are
I'm going to check
beautiful.
in.
Those are all beautiful. So we do have some
Right.
more feedback here.
Okay.
Hi, Dean. Dean dropped in to say hi. Mama Khatau says, I'm here in Belgium right now on vacation and want to know if this is my family here and friends can use this.
Yes, absolutely. We are in 44 different countries, Mom. Thank you for asking that question. We are in 44 different countries, 24 different languages, so the family can all receive their text messages in French if they prefer.
That's so great.
That's very great. Krish asks, is there a limit on how many supporters you can add?
There is a 2-limit support. It was 4 at one point, but with our data and analytics, we found that 2 was the appropriate amount, and no one ever really went past 2.
Good question.
Right
Thanks for that
on.
question.
And John Brenny dropped in to say, hey.
Hey, John Brenny. So is Canada one of the countries?
Of course. I'm in Canada.
Oh, I didn't even know this. Did I know this? Do I know? I didn't know this. Well, now I know this. What? I don't know. Where is Emma? Is she in California?
Emma is in Vancouver.
Oh, you're both there. Okay. All right. I was unaware. I missed it.
Okay, right
and,
on. But hold on. Sarah, do you speak French?
I do.
We have to put that on there right now.
Okay,
Oh,
go
no.
ahead. Say something in French. I'm just going to listen because it's going to sound so beautiful.
You guys are putting me on the spot on a live right now?
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
As long as you say crap in French too, then it's going to be like award winning. Go ahead.
Oui, je parle en français. Mes parents viennent d'Afrique, en Tanzanie et Congo. Alors, leurs premières langues sont français aussi. Is that good enough?
That's amazing. I love it.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
That's wonderful. All right. Any other comments, Josh?
Tammy says, that's amazing. She said that before you started casting your spell in French, though. So.
Thanks, Tammy. All right.
I should have done a spell. Thanks, Tammy.
Right. That's wonderful. That's awesome. I love this. I love it so much. And you know what else I love is if I want to, I can gift this to people, right? Like if they don't think about doing this, I can do it as a giveaway. They're 1 month. I mean, anybody can sign up for free, but if I wanted to surprise somebody and just gift them, I could do it.
Of course, absolutely.
Now, can you go in after and tweak your subcategories? Okay.
Of
That's
course,
great.
absolutely. If you are, for example, health and well-being, if you are struggling with loneliness right now, but a few months down the line, you feel like you need to add anxiety, depression, caregiving, you can completely go ahead into your own profile. It's your profile, and add those things, take things away, change your profile how you see
It's so
fit.
good. It's so good. I have to tell you, I thank you so much for coming on tonight and explaining everything and saying whatever it is you said in French. And thanks to your mom and any other family members and friends who gave you shout outs and gave you your support
Thank you,
on your
guys.
first live. I think this is something that you should tell Emma that you guys should be doing on a semi-regular basis and just getting it out to the masses. Maybe even start doing this on, Reels and TikTok. I'm a fan of TikTok, but I think that you should do this regularly. I think you're good at it.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I love TikTok for viewing. I tried to post a few videos and I'm not the best at it. So I'll keep
Yeah.
that in mind though.
I'll tell you, I work on dances for weeks, weeks. By the time I get around to doing it, which might be with, a shot of fireball, might not be, I don't know. It is so not popular anymore, but I did it. So I'm okay. I'm still working on Texas Hold'em. I pretty much have it if it goes in slow motion. Once it's at full speed, I trip on my own feet, but I'm going to get it. I will have it by mid-year, by
I
July.
love that.
And I will post it because I have no shame. There's a lot that's been posted on there. Yeah, on my page. We'll connect after and I'll tell you where to go
Oh,
look
yeah.
for if you
Right
really
on,
want a good
right
laugh.
on. So we have another here. This is a great question by Krish.
Okay.
Is there a corporate rate for companies who want to sign up?
Absolutely. That is a really great question.
hmm
Thank you. Yeah, we work with different organizations, and essentially you buy a package of subscriptions, and the more subscriptions you buy, the cheaper the price goes per subscription for the ball. Thank you.
That's a
That's
good question.
wonderful. This is great, says Nathalie, even in French. Tammy, such a pretty language. Asim, beautiful French. The mama says, oui, chérie. I don't know how to say that.
Chérie.
Exactly. Good job, Sarah. And
Thank you.
that brings our chat up to par.
Okay. All right. So again, it's live. Go ahead and sign up. Start receiving your help text today or tomorrow. You'll get your confirmation today. If you have any questions, they do have a technical support right there. You can check it out on your phone or on the web. 1 month free, and then it's up to you if you decide that you want to go ahead and subscribe, which we hope that you do. So, Sarah, you did great. Did good, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
You
it.
looked good. You
I
sounded
appreciate
good.
you, Karen. Oh,
Very good
thank you.
information.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
who better
And
to sell this than somebody that used this themselves? I mean, it's amazing.
I'm proof of concept. I really am. It's
Yeah.
full circle moment for me, and
Yeah.
I couldn't be more grateful for Help Text. I really
Well,
couldn't.
let me tell you, we're grateful for you and the organization. We appreciate you sharing everything with us. And again, everybody, this is why I need you guys to click subscribe and click that bell so you're notified when we have live events like this. And don't forget to click like and share it because somebody is going to get something out of this, especially. Sarah, thank you again so much. And thank you, everybody who tuned in, all the people. I didn't write your names down, but thank you, everybody, for leaving comments. And thanks to Sarah's mom. And yeah. All right. Thank you again, Sarah. We'll talk soon. We're going to do this again.
We will. We'll do a TikTok dance together.
Oy vey. When I come out to Canada, we'll try to do that. We'll see how it works. We'll see. We got to talk. We've got a couple things. We can duet each other. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you again, everybody, for joining in, and we'll see you soon. Take care.